Good morning. Thank you for joining me in this morning mindfulness practice. I've spent the last couple of weeks reading from Neville Goddard's The Power of Awareness. And in that little book, Power of Awareness, it also includes awakened imagination. And he captures the sheer logic of creative mind principles. But he tells us, stop all the old mechanical negative inner talking and start a new positive and constructive inner speech from the premises of fulfilled desire. Inner talking is the beginning, the sowing of the seeds of future action. Instead of worrying about what might happen, spend your thoughts wisely, investing your thoughts in what you want to grow in your life. In the chapter Coin of Heaven, he talks about the difference between wasting, spending, and investing. Neville Goddard says, persuasion is an inner effort of intense attention. To listen attentively as though you heard is to evoke, to activate. By listening, you can hear what you want to hear and persuade those beyond the range of the outer ear. Speak it inwardly in your imagination only. Make your inner conversation match your fulfilled desire. Don't talk about what you don't want. Don't talk about what you're worried about. Don't use your voice to project into the future what you're scared about. What you desire to hear without, you must hear within. What you desire, when you talk about it, when you feel as if it's already done, when you use your imagination, your thoughts, and your voice to talk about what it's going to be like to be free, to be emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically free, to spend your days and your money the way you really want. External happenings in the world will become a bridge leading to the objective realization of your desire, but you must believe it. You must have faith. Don't give any energy to the negative. Focus only on what you desire. Your inner speech is perpetually written all around you in happenings. Learn to relate these happenings to your inner speech, and you will become self-taught. By inner speech is meant those mental conversations which you carry on with yourself. Now, Neville says those conversations may be inaudible when you are awake because of the noise and distractions of the outer world of becoming, but they are quite audible in deep meditation and dream. Whether they are inaudible or audible, whether you notice them or not, they're always running in the background. Neville says you are their author and you fashion your world in their likeness. Inner speech from the premises of fulfilled desire is the way to create an intelligible world for yourself. Observe your inner speech. What are you saying to yourself? What's going on in your head? What is that inner roommate that's taking up room in your head telling you? If it's scary, if it's worrisome, let it go. It's not doing you any good. That mental chatter that goes on constantly is causing disturbances in your life. It's shaking you up, making you anxious and fearful. When you notice that inner chatter, How about just evicting that inner roommate? Enough. We're done with that. Observe your inner speech, for it is the cause of future action. Inner speech reveals the state of consciousness from which you view the world. Make your inner speech match your fulfilled desire, for your inner speech is manifested all around you in happenings. The things that you talked about, that you dreamt about, that you worried about, that's what's going on. There's all kinds of things happening in the outside world. We don't have to get emotionally involved in other people's wars. We don't have to get emotionally involved and give strength to the negative that we don't want to happen or that has already happened. We want to remind ourselves, let it go, let it go, let it go. And when you're focused on letting it go, getting out of debt, getting out of problems, you don't push away the problems, because what you try to push away actually becomes bigger in your experience. It has to just dissipate, and that it disappears when you focus on what you do want. Neville says, an uncritical observation of our inner talking will reveal to us the ideas from which we view the world. Now, there's an exercise you can do. You can grab a pen and paper and write down what's happening that you don't want, what you're worried about, what's looming over you that might happen in the future or did happen in the past, that is consuming your thoughts and feelings. When you write it out, you can look at it objectively, uncritically. It's something that happened to you or might happen in the future. But if you are focused on it and worried about it, if you write it down, my mentor Bob Proctor would say, get it all out of you. If it's still bugging you, keep writing. Write down what you don't want. Write down what you're worried about. And then take that piece of paper and burn it. Literally put it in your fireplace or a campfire, or go to your kitchen sink where you can put the fire out right away after it's burnt. But as you watch the fire consume the paper, you have a little bit of relief, a psychological release. It's not all consuming anymore, that the words on the paper have turned to ashes. It's gone. Allow that. Allow some room in your mind, in your heart, in your speech to write what you do want to happen. Now that takes getting into an opposite energetic vibration. Neville says, inner talking mirrors our imagination, and our imagination mirrors the state with which it is fused. If the state with which we are fused is the cause of the phenomenon of life, then we are relieved of the burden of wondering what to do, for we have no alternative but to identify ourselves with our aim, with our big, beautiful, audacious goal, with what we do want. When we change the focus of our attention, when we put our focus on imagining the beautiful life that we do want to live, Rather than wanting it and longing for it, feel as if it's already here, it's already yours, it's already done. Instead of being worried and fearful, what if your beautiful goal was already here? You were experiencing it. You're already enjoying a beautiful relationship. You're already enjoying the fruits of your labor, the work that you're doing that's serving people. If you have a purpose, how are you showing up for yourself? How are you showing up every day? How are you showing up in the world? Inasmuch as the state with which we are identified mirrors itself in our inner speech, then to change the state with which we are fused, we must first change our inner talking. It is our inner conversations which make tomorrow's facts. Neville says we attract what we are. We don't attract what we want. We attract what we are. The art of life is to sustain the feeling of the wish fulfilled and let things come to you. Not go after them, because what you chase runs away. Not worry and doubt that it won't happen, but getting into the energetic vibration. That means allowing yourself to sit still, to train your central nervous system to relax. That takes practice. Rather than being critical and allowing your mind to run off, train it to focus on the beauty, the wonder, the joy, the freedom, the happiness, the love. Remember, we attract what we are, so you must love yourself. And as you fall in love with life, you radiate that energy. You become a magnet for better people, nicer circumstances, more resources. All the good is magnetically attracted to you because you are good, you are worthy, you are loving, you are respectful. What you are is what you attract. So earlier I mentioned writing down what's bugging you, what you don't want, what's hurting you. And Neville says, through uncritical self-observation of your inner talking, notice what you're saying to yourself. Don't beat yourself up, but just notice what's rattling around in your head. Where you are in the inner world is what you are in the outer world. It's emanating from you. You put on the new man whenever ideals and inner speech match. In this way alone can the new man be born. Inner talking matures in the dark. So the right inner speech is the speech that what would your life be like once you've realized your ideal? The words are the speech of fulfilled desire. I am that. I am that I am. So rather than announcing and pronouncing what currently is that you don't want, I am tired, I am miserable, I am whatever, flip it. Write a script that talks about your life as the ideal version of you that you prefer, that you desire, that you really want. I am healthy. I am happy. I am abundantly blessed. I live in a free world. I can go for a walk. I have the ability to walk. I have the ability to write whatever I want. I have the ability to think whatever I want. And as you remind yourself that you are created in God's image, that alone makes you worthy. That alone puts you above the creatures on the earth, because your animals can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. We've been taught to interpret the outside world using our 5 physical senses, but you are so much more than that. You have been gifted with an intellect. You can reason, you can think, you can design a beautiful future with your imagination. You can develop your will to hold the picture of what you really want. You can start by holding the picture on the screen of your mind and then get so deeply involved in that beautiful image that you're living that way. You're living that part. You're playing the role. You're acting as if you already are happy and healthy. What does that feel like? Pretend you're a Hollywood actor and you are abundantly blessed. You are wealthy. You are overflowing with love. You are radiating abundance. You are worthy. As you change the visions that you see in your mind to what you want, as you get your body into that feeling of happiness, joy, love, success, prosperity, satisfaction, your central nervous system starts to relax, and you can get eagerly excited about what's next in life. What are you creating that the world needs? There are 2 gifts which God has bestowed upon mankind and on no other creature. These 2 are mind and speech. The gift of mind and speech is equivalent to that of immortality. If a man uses these 2 gifts rightly, he will differ in nothing from the immortals. And when he quits the body, mind and speech will be his guides. And by them he will be brought into the troop of the gods and the souls that have attained to bliss. That is from Walter Scott's translation, Hermetica. Neville explains that the circumstances and conditions of life are our outpictured inner talking. It's the words that you use that have formed solidified sound. Inner speech calls events into existence. All that a man believes and consents to as true reveals itself in inner speech. It is his word, his life. Every stage of a person's progress is made by the conscious exercise of his imagination, matching his inner speech to his fulfilled desire. Persistent assumption of the wish fulfilled is the means of fulfilling the intention. As we control our inner talking, matching it to our fulfilled desires, you can lay aside all other processes. You can write down what you want. Make it like a Christmas list. It's not a fantasy. You're writing your heart's desire, and through faith, know that your desire will manifest. As you write about it, as you talk about it, as you believe that it's true, it becomes true for you. We simply act by clear imagination and intention. What are you intending for your life to become? We imagine the wish fulfilled and carry on mental conversations from that premise. Through controlled inner talking from premises of fulfilled desire, seeming miracles are performed. The future becomes the present and reveals itself in our inner speech. To be held by the inner speech of fulfilled desire is to be safely anchored in life. Now, as you write what you do want, write it out as if it's already here. If you ever wrote in a diary what happened today, dear diary, this was the awesomeness that happened today. Today was the best day of my life. I'm so happy because this happened. You write that every day, you will be pleasantly surprised, maybe even shocked and amazed by the miracles that do show up in your life. The things that you worried about fade away because you don't talk about them anymore. You don't worry about them anymore. You're so focused on the beautiful life that you're creating, the purposeful life, the intention that you're setting, and then taking action as if it's already done. If you were the person that has the goal, what would you be doing? How would your life look? What daily activities would you be doing? How thankful you are for the blessings in your life. Neville says it is only what is done now that counts. The present moment does not recede into the past, it advances into the future to confront us, spent or invested. Thought is the coin of heaven. Money is the earthly symbol. Every moment must be invested in our inner talking reveals whether we are wasting or investing. Be more interested in what you are inwardly saying now than what you have said in the past. Choose wisely what you think and what you feel now. Get into the vibrational energy of already being the person who has the goal. Whenever we assume the feeling of being what we want to be, we are investing. We cannot abandon the moment to negative inner talking and expect to retain command of our life. You know what happens to your body when you talk negatively? Don't let that start a train, a momentum. Don't add fuel to the fire. The circumstances of life are the muffled utterances of the inner talking that made them, the word made visible. The present moment is always right for an investment, inwardly speaking the right words. You choose life and good and blessings by being that which you choose. Make your inner speech a blessing. Neville says, man's ignorance of the future is the result of his ignorance of his inner talking. His inner talking mirrors his imagination, and his imagination is a government which the opposition never comes into power. Alter your inner speech and your perceptual world changes. Whenever inner speech and desire are in conflict, inner speech always wins out. Because inner speech objectifies itself, it is easy to see that if it matches your desire will be objectively realized. In the Bible, Luke 17:21 says, the kingdom of heaven is within you. You can bring into physical experience that beautiful goal, your heart's desire. You must focus on it, think about it, talk about it, get into the vibrational, energetic feeling of already being there. There will be challenges, there will be hard days ahead. But as you practice this, as you change your inner speech, as you change what you focus on, your behavior starts to change, and the outside world will change because you've changed on the inside. Any change in the behavior of the inner self will result in corresponding outer changes. The outside world reflects to you what you've been talking about, what you've been thinking about. The inner speech that seems to be invisible manifests in physical. Use your beautiful imagination and your word to create what you do want. Into that energy of being that which you desire. How would you be feeling? How would you be talking? What would you be doing? Go out and create that. Enjoy your life. Create a wonderful day. Practice this over the weekend, and I'll see you back here Monday morning at 7. Thank you.